We are exactly 100 days until the kickoff of the 2021 NFL season, and with the calendar flipping to June 1st today, it's rather significant in shaping where some stars will play this upcoming campaign, starting with Aaron Rodgers. If the Packers move on from Aaron Rodgers after today, Green Bay would save $16 million in cap space, which is why Rodgers wanting out, since Adam Schefter's bombshell on draft night was always the biggest story in sports, but we talked about it. It couldn't happen, wouldn't happen until June 1st at the earliest. Well, check the old calendar and check the Packers with regards to sanity. The Athletic is reporting the Packers still don't believe Aaron Rodgers. They don't believe that he's going to skip training camp or the season. The Green Bay Packers, according to The Athletic, are willing to call his bluff. Well, good luck with all that. History says Aaron Rodgers digs in on something it isn't halfway. When he spoke to the great Kenny Mayne last week, he certainly didn't deny any of the outstanding reporting via Adam Schefter or say he was going to be there. He explained the relationships that were damaged beyond repair. Sounds like a guy who would rather, I don't know, be in Denver than Green Bay this season. I don't blame Aaron Rodgers at all, and I certainly think that makes all the sense in the world. Look, it all changed when the Packers traded up for Jordan Love without telling Aaron Rodgers that they not only were going to pass on giving him a number one receiver, but they would actually put an expiration on his Packer career. I mean, it's crazy. They put an expiration date on his career. And then, as Rodgers said to Kenny Mayne, his MVP season put a wrench in their plans. So now, smartly, he wants to control it. Next week is minicamp. He spent the OTAs in Hawaii with his fiancée. That's the first time ever he's missed OTAs. Will the Packers fine him when he misses minicamp next week? What if Aaron Rodgers says he's going to retire and host Jeopardy and the Packers don't get anything in return? They need to think about this. The Packers have completely botched the Aaron Rodgers relationship. They have zero conception of reality. And let's start in the NFL. And of course, the Julio Jones trade rumors are starting to heat up. It's June 1st. And that means, as of a couple of hours ago, if the Atlanta Falcons trade Julio Jones, the cap hit for this year goes from about 23 mil down to 7.8 mil. That's gigantic. That's why we've always talked about the significance of June 1st. It would be 7.8 mil this year, 15.5 mil next year. And how about this? Reports out over the weekend, Diana Rossini from ESPN had it. Russell Wilson has already talked to Julio Jones about playing in Seattle. Can you imagine Russ throwing the football to Lockett and Metcalf and Julio Jones? Listen, and Seattle, with John Schneider, Pete Carroll, they don't value top draft picks. They're always in win now mode. They're always being creative. They always want to bring in great players and stars. So that certainly makes sense, especially when you consider the Rams are vastly improved, the Cardinals are vastly improved. I still think it's going to be Tennessee. Tennessee makes the most sense. If the Titans would offer a solid second rounder, when I say solid second rounder, I'm not talking about a third rounder that becomes a 2 based upon wins or playing time or incentives. A solid second rounder, teaming Julio Jones with A.J. Brown, to me, makes all the sense in the world. I think we're going to get closure on this. Atlanta wants closure on it this week. And what you can't rule out the Patriots, but I still think Tennessee makes the most sense when it comes to Julio Jones. And remember, he requested a trade. He told Shannon Sharp, I'm out of here. And obviously Atlanta needs to do it for the cap purposes. And we always knew that when he was traded, it was going to happen this week after June 1st. So buckle up, Buttercup. I think Julio Jones will be traded this week. And even with the spice of Seattle, I still believe Tennessee makes the most sense. The Philadelphia 76ers are in big-time trouble without Joel Embiid, and you saw it last night when Embiid fell down and didn't return, and the Sixers were incapable of busting out the brooms and sweeping away the Washington Wizards. Embiid is their MVP, their alpha dog. The Sixers, everything. Sure, Philly is up 3-1, but Washington can extend this series if Embiid is not available or if he is available and he's not playing like the star that he is. And part of the deal is, sorry, Doc Rivers, Ben Simmons can't shoot. He just can't. He can't hit jumpers and he can't hit free throws. He can't make shots. Scott Brooks going to the Hack-a-Simmons strategy down the stretch was simply genius because Simmons is stuck in his own head. I can appreciate Doc Rivers giving a passionate defense of Simmons to the Philly press after the game, and he is brilliant when it comes to court vision and distributing the basketball and playing defense, and Doc is clearly not going to bench him. He needs him. But the goal for the Sixers is to win the Eastern Conference as the 1 seed. I'm already on record saying I favor the Nets and the Bucks way ahead of them. Last night was a reminder that the Philadelphia 76ers cannot win the Eastern Conference because Ben Simmons won't let them. Naomi Osaka has withdrawn from the French Open, and how we got here really bothers me. The four-time major champion announced on social media she's going to take time away from the court and skip the festivities in Paris one day after the powers that be announced she was fined and threatened harsher sanctions for skipping her mandatory media obligations. I just find this sad. And good for Naomi for taking care of herself first and foremost. And it's just terrible for tennis. It's a horrible, horrible look. Naomi Osaka has been dealing with anxiety and depression since her first ever major win in the 2018 U.S. Open. Speaking of the press makes her nervous and uncomfortable. And if you remember that specific U.S. Open, she was getting booed by the crowd and the topic of discussion on our show and different shows. That was what happened with Serena Williams in the finals and the questionable officiating. I applaud Osaka for treating her mental health. We need to look at mental health for athletes like physical health. It's been more of a topic in recent years, obviously, ranging from Zach Greinke to DeMar DeRozan to Ricky Williams, among others. Naomi just felt awful talking to the press. And instead of working with her, tennis pushed her away and threatened even more. And now, as a result, the number 2 player in the world is going home. So who wins here? This clearly hurts Naomi and it hurts tennis. Now, I am a big believer in general, as a big picture statement, I don't want this getting lost, I'm a big believer in player availability to the media and player accountability. Same for a coach, same for an executive. But if there is a mental health issue, you shouldn't shun or embarrass a player. Work with them. Naomi didn't want to speak, she wanted to play. This isn't about consistency with a backhand. This is about mental health. There was a way to find some kind of happy medium to help Naomi and help the game. This was a tennis failure. It didn't have to end this way.